Okay, so we're just gonna get started. So you guys know today's topic is loyalty versus trust. This was on my website, and like people kept on DMing me like I should do it on an episode of my podcast. So here we shall be. Um, First, of course, my website, mysafeplace.org with the dash in between. I will put it in the comments below. The song of the episode is Loyalty by Anne Marie. Two snaps. The quote, the quote of the day: be loyal to those who are not present. In doing so, you build the trust of those who are present.
I might need you
And
to run that
then
back. Run it back
I'm
one more
open.
time. I don't think they heard you.
Be loyal to those who are not present. In doing so, you build the trust of those who are present.
I like that.
Deep stuff, right? I know I try to be deep sometimes. So this one I'm opening the floor to anybody who wants to join in. Just request to join in. However, I just ask for people to be respectful. If we all have our different opinions or how we handle situations, whatever the topic may be, just be respectful. And if you can't be respectful, don't come on because I don't got time for it. But I want to open the conversation. Oh, and I'm sorry, guys. This is Tati with the Y. She is joining me today. So we could talk about this topic because I met her in college, and I graduated college. I'm not gonna say how long ago, but we're still friends. Ryan, I met in college. Well, still friends. And these are people loyalty right here. Like the loyalty. Like I could call her like Tati. I need X, Y, and Z. Can we talk about this? And she will be there.
Exactly how
no
it went
problem.
down last
She's
time
there.
you called. Remember that? You remember that was a couple years ago,
Yeah,
but we was like, where you at? Right down skirt.
Literally.
With the kids.
Literally. So Lord, they were their father. So I want to open up with the definition. How could everybody have different definitions of the word loyalty and trust? So for me, trust is like your words, your actions, what you say you're going to do. I'm trusting you're going to do what you say you are. If you're going to do this, whatever. Like if you present yourself to be this kind of person, I expect you to be that kind of person. I'm trusting you to be who you are. Well, now loyalty is I put people in different categories. Like I have my relationship, my friendship, and families, like different categories with that. But loyalty is unconditional. Like no matter the emotion, no matter the situation, it should not change. However, if the dynamic of the relationship with that person changed, then of course your loyalty will change. But I feel like it should be consistent all around. So like, what is your
I feel like
definition
I
of trust
agree
and
with you like
loyalty?
100%, especially loyalty. Like no matter what is happening in life, like no matter what situation it really is, like I should be able to put my faith in you and know like you're not switching up on me because of another situation that's coming up or another person, right? Like if you're loyal to me, I feel
Right.
like loyalty, like I have loyalty tatted on me. Like that's like how I really feel about it because I
Mm-hmm.
think that like
Right.
if I trust you, right? Like I think that it goes hand in
Mm-hmm.
hand, and this is why this topic is so controversial because it's like, how do you not have loyalty without
Right.
the trust, right? Like I got to be able to trust you to know that your loyalty gonna last. Like you're not gonna start being unloyal, right? So I feel like loyalty is, how do you say it? It's like one of those things where when you're in a situation and something comes up, right, and you in a room and you got to make a split decision, but your loyalty is to this person. Like you riding with them or you riding with
Right.
me? Like nah, I'm gonna have to go with my dog. Like
Right.
that's with loyalty,
Right.
like you know.
Right.
And trust, I feel like, is if you're in a predicament where something is happening and you're putting your faith or the ability for somebody to handle a situation in someone else's hands. I'm trusting that you're going to handle that appropriately, and I'm not going to end up in a worse situation than I might be in already because I put my trust in somebody that ended up being untrustful, like
Mhm.
untrustworthy. So it's like, you know
I feel especially right. True. I feel like if I had to choose, if we really had to choose between loyalty and trust, I would choose loyalty over trust. But the reason being because I feel like if you're loyal to me, the trust is gonna come because you've been consistent the whole time. But it depends on the situation, the scenario. So, like for example, in my relationship, I can definitely be loyal to you, but not trust you. And been a situation where I don't trust you, but I'm going to remain loyal because I'm not going to change who I am because you did. But like if a friendship comes and I'm being loyal to you, and I feel like, wait, what are you doing? Like you acting funny now. That's what I like. I'm not gonna go tell your business. I'm not gonna rush bad on you, but I'm all right. I'm all set now. I keep you from a distance. Like my loyalty now is to you. Like if I have to choose, like okay, for example, if you bring a new friend around me and we go out and that little friend is about to get into an argument and they get start fighting, that's not my friend. I don't care. Once I see you, nah, it's not going down like that. That's how it goes. Like I'm not gonna jump through hoops to somebody I don't know, you know. But if it's me and you right there, we ready to go. You only got one time to just call me, say Tati did it. All right.
And that's like, even if I'm mad, like if I'm mad at
like,
you and something happens, or like you in a situation like where something is going wrong in your life or something, you know, just anything. It could be any situation. It doesn't have to just be like you're in a harm's way type of thing. But like if you're just hurting and you say like I need somebody that I could really trust right now, like my loyalty is gonna be to you. Like I'm gonna be like, all right, you know what? Let me drop this. I'm gonna come handle that. Like, you know, and there's gonna be situations where you're gonna have to pick and choose. Like it's gonna be your friend or your man. Who are you more loyal to? You know what I'm saying? Your mom or your husband? Like, who you more loyal to? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think all of those things come into play. Like, I just read something that somebody said in the comments. Like, I think it's a girl, right? I can only trust people if they have their own relationship with God, and I feel like that's a very tricky thing to say because me myself, I have a relationship with God, right? I believe in God. I pray to God. You know, like I have a relationship with God, but everybody doesn't believe in God. Everybody doesn't even have a faith, right? Like they don't even have a religion. They don't, you know, worship certain things. So it's like you can't say that, right? You could love somebody to death, but how do you not trust them just because they don't have a relationship with God, you know? Maybe like I have a friend who's just spiritual, right? She's just spiritual. She doesn't believe in any specific person. You know, she believes things happen to good people, good things happen to those who do good to others, like that kind of thing, right? So it's like I can't say that I don't trust her because she doesn't believe in God. We can talk about things and, you know, like I might say, oh, thank God. And she might be like, yeah. And she doesn't, you know, like I still feel like I could trust her in a situation, you know, like there's certain things that would come up and I'd be like, oh, okay, like she's valid, like she's loyal to, she did the right thing in that situation, you know what I'm saying? So that was tricky for me because like, where do you know, like there's lines.
Yeah, where there's boundary line, right? Like where there's, you can be, that person could be spiritual, like you said, spiritual, but then like you can't present certain life situations to them because now they can be not judgmental in a way and like, okay, but you're not doing this the Christian way. But like, okay, I understand that, whatever, but our faith is two different faiths. Like somebody could just be entering the relationship with God and you could be full blown apostle level. So that's very tricky too when you add spiritual things into there. But like, yeah, I want to mostly say like you have to, like, because some people like it's to each his own. I'm not gonna force them to have the relationship with God just so I know that you're loyal to.
And I think trust has like nothing to do with religion, if you ask me. Like they're completely separate entities. Like trusting somebody and somebody being religious and having a relationship with God, they're like on completely separate bounds. Like, you know, you can trust somebody and they don't know nothing about God or Christ or Buddha or whoever. Like, you know, there's so many different religions and it's like, you know, you can't really put the two in the same category and say they go hand in hand because I don't think they do. And I think trust is built. Like, I think that's always a thing. Like, sometimes people be like, oh, yeah, I trust you. But you, like, in the back of your mind, do you really trust them? Like,
I don't trust you, but
yeah, like, are you going to go tell me your deepest, darkest secrets because you trust me? Right.
Right. And I always say this too. Trust is lost in buckets and gained in drops. So you really have a few times with me to like. But for me, I overly trust. Like, so I trust too much. So now that you did something to me, now I'm disappointed. I'm expectation. Now my whole perspective of you changed, and I don't know I don't think we can get back to where we were from that. But I just look at you differently. I know how to move with you accordingly. But it's so much different when it's a family member or it's your partner. Because
And
now it's like, how
the
do
thing about it
you
is,
try to
right
rebuild?
there, what you said, how do you try to rebuild your trust? One thing you have to always do is give
Hmm.
credit where it's due. If a person is showing you
Right.
effort and, some sort of remorse and, like, let's say, okay, I'm using an example, right? I'm just gonna go with something. Like, let's say you were in a situation where you were in a relationship, you had a partner, you felt like you could trust them, and you disclose things to them, and then later on it comes up in your friendship or in another relationship, and they're like, "Oh, you told so and so like about my," and I'm like, "Wait, you're my partner, and that's my friend or whatever," and it's like I wasn't saying it to be like telling you like to lose your trust. I thought I was sharing something like, oh, like
Right.
this is what's going on. Like, and so you learn those lessons over time. And those are things that I say, like, in
Right.
any situation, you always have to make sure that, you know, you check in with people. Like, if that person trusts you with something, like, make sure, like, you don't want me to disclose this to anyone else, right? Like, that's something that me and Ryan, right? If I call her and I'd be like, yo, listen, I'm about to tell you something, but you can't
Right.
tell nobody, right?
Right.
Like, nobody. And, we've had those conversations like, yo, listen,
Right.
this is tea, but this is tea for you and
Hmm.
me. Like, that's it. And it's like, when you
Right.
make those like conversations clear, then people know, like, my expectation is
Hmm.
that I trust you not to go back and tell nobody what I said to you
Right.
in confidence, right? Now, there's a difference if you just go in, oh, let me tell you the story that happened, like, and you don't say to nobody, oh, well, don't tell
Hmm.
nobody, like, you know, like, then the door is open.
Hmm.
You left room for error, and people make mistakes. I feel like, we've all been in situations where we, didn't intentionally mean to hurt somebody, like loyalty, right? Like, I was loyal to people. I've been loyal to a lot of people. I am loyal to a lot of people, but that doesn't mean that at some point somebody felt like I was disloyal to them. Maybe there's something that happened that they were like, oh, nah, like, you messed up, and I might not feel that way. I might be like, what you mean? Like, no, I didn't. But everybody has their understanding of it.
Right. Right. And everybody loyalty and trust is different because it was a situation where um they said, for instance, like you're in a relationship, right? Damn, right my eyebrow. You're in a relationship. So say, okay, example, you're in a relationship and like they said, oh, you love this person, you love them, but you're not loyal to them. But you trust, like, how can I explain it? Like you're loyal to a certain extent, but I can't put it to words because it just, to me, it don't make no sense. Like, you're in a relationship with somebody, you want them to be loyal, but they
Yeah.
step out on you, right? But
But
now
just
they
because
say,
you
but I'm
love somebody
loyal,
doesn't
but
mean that they're gonna
what's
stay
your
loyal to you, right? That they're two different things. And
right?
love and loyalty is a whole nother conversation too. You could do that. Love, loyalty, and trust, right? You could be loyal to somebody, you could love them, you can trust them. It doesn't mean that they all won't eventually fall off in certain places, right? Somebody could love you to death and still cheat on you, right? Like, loyalty doesn't always mean that they're gonna stay in that love space, and they're gonna love you, but they might not stay loyal to you, right? But they might trust you. They trust you, right? I've had situations where they be like, "Oh, I know you're not gonna cheat on me." Oh, really? Oh, really? Yeah, because my loyalty is
Right.
strong. But what about yours? Like, it's like, hello.
Right.
So it's like you really have to. You really have to know a person. And even when you know them, you don't know them. Let me just put that out there. I'm sorry. I said it, but I'm taking it back because even when you
Like
think you know somebody, you don't.
somebody would never expect. And I'm gonna have a
Expectations?
whole podcast about what you know. You know
Okay.
what
Listen,
I'm talking about,
listen. We can.
right? So that's gonna be a juicy one. But the expectation of people, like, I expect you to be loyal to me because you're with me. I expect you to be loyal to me because you're my friend. That's my expectations. So now when you receive those expectations and you disappoint me, do I still remain who I am, even though I feel betrayed? But I feel like it's not like an eye for eye situation, but it's like I want you to get those your own medicine. But I strongly believe in karma. So
Mm-hmm.
then I'm like, I'm not gonna do it.
And
But then
but
back when
and what does
I
it do for you though?
want you to
Like, you know what I'm saying? What does it do for
no,
somebody who was once not loyal to you for you to go and do the same? It just makes you just as bad as them. Then it makes you unloyal. Like it makes you disloyal
mm,
to them. Like you become just as bad as they was when they did what they did. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's relationships, that's friendships, that's family. You know, like I've had family members be like, "Oh yeah, like let me tell you about so and so." Then they turn around, they go to so and so, and they be telling me like, "Who's your loyalty to? Like, where's your loyalty lie?" And people can't answer that because sometimes they don't even know themselves. Like, who am I really loyal? If you even loyal to
mm,
yourself, like to me, I think you got to be loyal to yourself, and you got to know what
right,
your values are in order to be loyal to somebody else. For sure, hands down, you cannot be loyal to
yes,
anybody unless you're loyal to yourself. You know, like
right. And I just client too, and we talked about our values and morals, so that was scheduled too. It was like you said family, and people automatically think because we're family, I trust you or you are loyal to me. Like I have family members that don't
right.
even know my kid's
Okay,
name. You think I would trust you
let's
to
talk
watch them?
about it. Let's talk about it.
Like it's a difference when like it's a difference, like because I do trust people. Like don't get me wrong, I have my close people that I do trust. However, I won't let them like I won't let my it's me. It's just me, my comfortability. I won't let my kids be with
You
X,
know,
Y,
my
and
son
Z.
ain't going nowhere that
Like
I ain't comfortable.
like
Period.
you know, like you if I say can you watch Mariah for a minute, this would be the first time you ever
Right.
watch Mariah because I always have my kids. Like the one person ever watched my daughter was Imani, and that's like my
Right.
that's not even my best friend anymore. That's like my sister. Like that's my adopted sister. Only person who ever watched them. Other than that, my kids is with me, with my mom, with like so it's family, and it's some family members who hurt these kids, and it's not purposely, but I just don't
Right.
feel like because you're family, I can trust you. And yeah, you don't even know my kid's name. Why
Yeah,
the
I hear
hell
y'all
you need to
saying.
watch him? So, you, their child, come here. No, build that relationship, and then we can go from there. I think when you lose trust and loyalty, it's not the same. However, keep in the back of your mind moving forward. Don't do
Mm-hmm.
anything that will come back around. Yes, karma comes hard, and I feel like when your karma comes, it be 10 times worse than what you've been through. You be like, dang, like I should just left it
And
alone.
that's
Leave it. You know, and that's so what is my mother? I always said it from the beginning. Go, I don't cheat because I don't want to catch something. I that's my always and everybody I dragging it. No,
mm-mm.
no, no, I'm not dragging it because that's the first thing that pops into my mind. If you cheat, I'm gonna catch AIDS, and I am too young to be living my. I
I
would bring myself
I
to early
wouldn't
death
care how
because
old
of that. And
you
no
are.
offense to
I
people
wouldn't care.
who do have it, but
Like you said, it's karma and it's gonna
mhm,
come back. So they cheat on me, and then I go out there and I'm cheating on them. I'm gonna look real dumb if I come back with something, and then it's them cheating, but I done came back with something. They gonna be looking at me like I'm the one that's crazy. And then I feel like you don't
yeah.
have no leg
And
to
then
stand on
two,
if you
like
just
people
as bad as
cheat.
that person. You ain't got no right to talk.
Hello,
Yeah.
we could be in a relationship with each other. Just leave it alone. I got no time. But it was a video. I hope everybody watched it. But it was a video I sent to you where what's his name?
Right.
Casanova, Free
Free
Casanova,
him.
big homie. Um, he was like he feels loyalty and trust, and this is where I need a male perspective to come into, but it's no males only out. Like they are loyal to their to the gang, like gang, like the gang. So they can be in a gang with somebody, and they could be loyal to them, but then I could trust them. So it goes to me like I started thinking about like how can you be friends with somebody, not trust them, be loyal to them? I feel like I'd rather trust you first, and then I don't know. That plays hand in hand. Like that's like me and you be friends. Like I'm gonna be loyal to you, but I don't trust you with not a lick of soul.
Right.
What's the point of even being friends
But I feel like
at that point? Like especially
in
and
that
it's
perspective, when
different.
what Casanova was talking about is that's a street life, right? Like if you look at like what is it,
Mm-hmm.
Gunna and all of them right now, they all going through it, right? Because Young Thug, like they all in a gang, right? So they in the street and they all going through a specific type of disloyalty. Like they all turn it on each other. Look how quickly. What was it like? 10 of them, you know, and it was dropping like flies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I'm snitching, I'm snitching, I'm snitching. Now you got them in there getting beat up, they getting stabbed, like, you know what I'm saying? All because of the simple fact that at the end of the day, it's every man for himself. There is no trust in that. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what he was saying
Right.
is like, yeah, we run in the same circle. So at the end of the day, I already know if I'm getting killed, it's coming from one of y'all. Because y'all the closest people to me.
Fact.
And usually it'd be the closest people to you.
That it be
Hello?
Pop Smoke, the closest you be your right hand man. It's just like, and I don't. To me, Lord, please, I want to die of old age. If one of my friends is one of the friends that come knock me out, big homie Nicole's on this, mom, you handle them. You like, and then really one of my friends, I'm not gonna be the one to like, not only like, really lay hands on somebody, like, except especially my friend, if it's over my kids. Other than that, it's whatever. But it's like loyalty to men is just so different. Like, I'm not gonna snitch on somebody. So like, it was a situation like in the hood and whatnot where either you snitch on your gang, or you be with your family, or your family go to your foster care or something like that. So it's like, how do you choose? So then it's like, are you a real man because you held it down, or you a real man because you left that family hanging to be loyal to a man? You know what? Everybody say, "Oh, that's gay. That's gay." Well, I feel like that's gay. Like, how you gonna be
Look, your
loyal to
mom
a
fat
man but
back.
not loyal to your
She already
family?
know.
But the man that you gonna hold it down to, it's not gonna be there. They're gonna be 10 times older, but the family is gonna be holding you down. You know? And but it's a different kind of respect for people that's like my dad, hands held down, 10 toes down, whatever. He's the real one. But then still, like, he made it clear, like, my family will always come first. And I have all trust in my dad. If something goes down, my dad. But I'm only gonna call my dad when
You
it's
have
like,
no
press
other
that go
options
button.
left, then you make that call. Because we all know if you call your dad, and I'm speaking for both of our dads, right? Because I'm not calling my father until the very last option. Like,
That's the
I'm not
last
trying
resort.
to have nobody. Like, if there's anything else that
Yeah.
can be done,
And cause
because that's loyalty, right? That's loyalty and that's trust. You know that you have trust in that person because you
yeah.
already know the trust is there. If you call that person, you say, "Listen, right now, this is what's going down."
Mm-hmm.
There's no coming back from it. Like, you know that. So trust and believe. You make that call, it's a wrap.
Mm-hmm.
All bets is off. So you
Right. Like for look, since we talk my family, like the person, like I could call my family for anything, right? But it's like I still call my mother on my HR department because she gets it down. like I trust that she's gonna get it done because nobody play with big homie. But it's like I can't trust certain family members to get it done. Like I want to call my grandmother to like go
right.
handle my HR department. Like we need stuff done. I just that loyalty in a relationship. Give me what you give your boys in the street. Facts. That I feel the same way too. Like, can
But
you be loyal
I
to
feel like
me
it's a
as
front
baby
though.
to your
Like, I
wife?
feel like real talk. Like, if we gonna expose them for what we gonna really expose them for, it's a facade. When they walk out there in the streets, they gotta put on that front. Like, yeah, like I got you, bro. Like, yeah. And deep down in the back of their mind, they still watching him to make sure that he ain't trying to kill him. Because at the end of the day, you ever see them when
Mm-hmm.
you ever see a shooting video, right? And there's a shootout and they all shooting. Ain't nobody holding their mans down. They not running with their mans. They running by themselves. So at the end of the day, like, I don't want that kind of loyalty because if me and you was next to each other and somebody's shooting at us, you gotta come get me. Hello? Like, don't leave me out here to die.
Let me tell you this: we can't
Right.
see as is, so we check the scenery. Our vision, we can see through the fog. We can see.
Right.
We read the scene. Oh, he done
Mm-hmm.
played. But so this is why I don't do social gatherings. I don't go out with too many men because a little bump, they want to start shooting and fighting. No. Go do this on your own time. Because guess what? I'm gonna be mad as hell now that the police gotta come. They're gonna line this place up. I gotta go, and I'm sitting in my car burning my gas,
Right.
waiting for this foolishness to be over with. It's just too much. But men just like, this is why I want a male perspective on loyalty because they're so big on I need to have this. Like I need to be loyal. I need to be loyal. But then it's like, can you be loyal to your girls? Where you be loyal to
But that's
your
like,
man?
look at
Your
El
man.
Chapo. Like, look at his wife. Shorty was riding 10 toes down for the longest. Like she wasn't speaking on nothing that he was doing. And why do you think men typically go find a woman who they can feel like they trust, they're loyal to them, because they know, like, when you're in that lifestyle specifically, you need somebody that you can really trust. Like, you need somebody that's gonna hold it down. Like, if somebody come knocking, they're not asking no real questions, like, what's going on? Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, what happened? But then again, are you loyal to me? Because it be them same men be out here cheating on their girlfriends. The same ones that you be like, oh, you gotta hold it down for me. I hold it down, pay my commissary, but you gonna cheat on me? You want me to put money on your books, but you gonna cheat?
It be,
Right. And that's what I'm saying.
and then now you got to choose which one, and then now they're exposing
Right.
you, and now you look stupid. Like, who I can really, really respect is Papoose. He held Remy down for years in jail, and you never heard him in the media, you never heard him in a blog about no other girls. Like, that is loyalty. That is trust. I need that in my
Yeah,
life.
he's
Give me a Papoose.
definitely a true definition.
Like, in there, like, be how, and then two, if you're mad at me or whatever the case may be, and that deflects if you're going to be loyal to me or not, that's a problem. That's a huge problem. I can understand if we're going through problems and you communicate what is wrong, what's this and the third, and it's not getting done, and you give me some time to change it. Okay, then okay, yeah, I can see why you did because I didn't do X, Y, and Z. But if you didn't communicate that to me and you just go off do gosh knows what, I look at you some type of way, and I don't know if you can go back to the view I had of you to begin with. I look at you differently, and I'm going to, and it's sad to say, I'm still going to be loyal to you, but I'm not going to trust you with my whole heart. And why we in a relationship if I can't give you all of me and vice versa? So for like, how do you rebuild that? Even with you seeing the progress and what that person is doing, it's like in the back of my head, I'm always gonna think about it. Like, are you doing this? Are you doing that?
Yeah.
And I don't want to live like that.
I mean, and I saw somebody say that earlier. Like, it's always going to be in the back of your head, you know. I don't think that type of thing never changes, right? Like, you can forgive. Sometimes you don't forget, though, right? Like, you know, that's right there. Any split thing happen, you like, yep, right back. All the memories come back, right? Right. And so it's like, you know, you gotta pick and choose. You know, you forgive, but you have to rebuild the trust. You have to pick those pieces back up and say, like, okay, I'm not going to keep holding on to this because I want to be able to trust you, and I want to be able to trust you wholeheartedly, right? Like, I don't want to trust you with this little piece. I don't want to just trust you with the bills. I don't want to just trust you with, like, the house. Like, I want to trust you as a whole person, like, for who you are, what you come with, all of that. Like, it's one big ball, right? But you gotta they gotta be able to show it. They gotta be able to give it. They gotta be able to provide you with that, how do you say, like, examples, you know, like tools to say, all right, here's what I'm doing here. Like, oh, like I'm gonna open up this door a little more. I'm gonna open up and speak about this more. Like, you have to be able to provide assurance to somebody to say, like, I'm really sorry that this happened and I really want to move forward, and here's how. Because without that, you can't trust them. Like you said before, loyalty gonna be there. I'm not gonna cheat on you. You ain't worried about me. And that's a lot of times why I think sometimes people cheat and they don't always have a lot of remorse, because a lot of times there's no worry in the back of their mind because they know their partner is loyal to them. Their partner is faithful to them. They trust their partner, right? But, right. And it's like, they don't give that same respect because they feel like, oh, well, I don't have to. Like, that's when you got to start setting the standard. Like, oh, well, guess what? And consistency. Hello. Consistency is what I'm talking about right there.
Right. So here's another thing. It just popped into my mind. I don't know if y'all ever saw the DMX clip where they said, trust the person to be exactly who they are, right? If a snake, expect the snake to bite you and hiss at you, right? So now this person, relationship-wise, consistently cheats on you, but now you want to forgive. You keep on forgiving them, and you like, that's your choice. You keep on forgiving them, and now you're in a place where you want to trust them. But now I'm trusting you to be exactly who you've shown me to be. So now you have to make the choice. Do you still want to be with this person, trusting them to be that cheater,
Right.
or trusting them to change? And I feel like with men, you have to be the right person for them to change. So if they're gonna string you along, but I feel like if you're the right person for them, they're going to change. And I'm gonna use this perfect example. My dad, he was with my mom. He was doing his lifestyle. He changed. So my dad barely goes out. My dad barely talks. Like, he's a man of few words. You see my dad, but it's like he changed for his family. He changed for my mom. Like, he changed for all this stuff. So for like a man's gonna do that for, if he wants to do that for that person, for his family. But then you have men that will change and still do what
And
they're
so
doing.
I agree with everything you just said, right? I agree with it. And I don't want to sound like I'm disagreeing, because I'm not. But I'm also going to add to the fact that a person is who they are, is who they are, right? Who they are
Mm-hmm.
is who they
Right.
are. You cannot change that about them. Now, what can be done is progress, is work, right? And hard work too,
Mm-hmm.
because it's also up to you to be honest with that person and say, listen, this is not it. I can't do that. So if you
Mm-hmm.
want this to work and you want to be in this relationship or this environment, this space with me, you got to come correct from here on out. The past is the past,
Right.
but for going forward, this is what needs to be changed. And so I think when men are in certain relationships, if that expectation wasn't set, they gonna keep doing what they doing. You not leaving me. You
Mm-hmm.
ain't tell me that this is a deal breaker, right?
Right.
You know, there's no ultimatum.
Mm-hmm.
But I think sometimes when men see those ultimatums, if it's worth to say it to them, if they want to do the work to fight for that, they will. You know, if they see it worth fighting for, they will fight
Mm-hmm.
for it. They will get their stuff together. They will get their act together. They'll change their ways, you know. Like you said, maybe they're not hitting the streets every night. Like, maybe you're not staying out all night and coming home the next day. Or maybe you're not hanging with those friends that used to influence you to do the things that you was doing when you was cheating, right? You know, like, maybe you hanging out with people who are
Right.
more loyal, like people who have, you know, solid relationships, solid foundations. Like, there's things to do, but it takes work. It's a progress. It's a work in progress. And you know, I think sometimes
Right.
also not being understanding of people is also a hindrance on a lot of
Mm-hmm.
relationships, you know, like, if you're not willing to do the work with them and you just making them like, oh, you need to get just that, like, they not really going,
Like,
they're not working hard. Like,
self-reflect.
what they want to do that for? You yelling, you acting crazy,
Like,
like, nah.
right. Right. Like, why are
Right.
you changing? This all you're gonna do? Like, I don't want it, but I just feel like, too. Question. So, do you feel like men camouflage, or females, in both ways, camouflage to their environment, meaning they see their friends cheating, so they want to blend in with that too. Like, oh, I see them doing it, let me just
Yeah.
do it too because we're there. Like, what it is. I feel like some people will say, is, nah, don't do that. Don't do that to her. Like, don't. But then you have other people like, fuck that bitch. Like, go ahead and do what you want to do. Like, if you vent into your friend today, or today she pissed you up, go talk to Susan down the road. Like, I feel like men could be easily persuaded to, and some females too, not just men, but some
People
females
in
too could be
general
easily
are
persuaded
always easily
to.
persuaded if they have that lack of self-control. If you don't have enough self-control to
Mm-hmm.
control your actions, you will always be easily manipulated. You will always be easily,
Literally.
you know, adapted to whatever situation you're in, right? Like, if you're not able to control your own emotions, when you get in a room with somebody else who can't control theirs, you ain't gonna you don't got, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's why we all been friends for so long, because it's like, if I see you in a room doing something stupid, I'm not about to be behind you like, yeah, like, do that. Like, no, no, we are parents. We are mothers. Get your ass, let's go. Like, get in the car. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, and we all have to get to that place where self-control has to be at the forefront of your mind in order to make proper decisions, you know? And that goes with being loyal to somebody. That's a decision. You know what I'm saying? It's a decision to whether or not you're going to be loyal to somebody, because you're going to get tested, right? Your loyalty is going to be tested.
Mm-hmm.
Do I do this or do I do that? It's up to
Facts.
you to have that ability
Mm-hmm.
to control your own actions, right? Same
Right.
thing with trust. You don't want to just go around being, untrustworthy, doing crazy stuff. Like, who gonna trust you? At the end of the day, you start doing stuff that people don't want to be around, everybody gonna stop trusting you. Like nobody's gonna trust you. You're gonna
Right.
be the person that they say, nah, you can't trust her. Because like when
Mm-hmm.
I tell you I'm going to my grave with some stuff that people done told me, I'm going to my grave.
That's and then too, like going to like when you and another friend had that big
Right,
altercation, I didn't go like, "Oh, Tati, this is what she said," or "This is the person, this is what she said." I was very mutual. Both of y'all wrong. You vented to me. She vented to me. To this day, y'all would never hear, "Oh, Tati told me this about you." No, because I'm loyal to both of you guys, and you guys is gonna have issues. It's friendship. So why would I be that middle person to get that bug in your ear? Like, "Oh, she's talking shit about you. She's talking
and
for
even in
what?"
that
Like,
situation,
it's not gonna
the
be
loyalty was still there. I feel like the trust got
right.
very, very, um how do you say it, jagged, right? Like it was very torn, but the
Mhm.
loyalty remained,
Right.
because there's a level that you just will never cross, right? And there's certain friendships and certain relationships that no matter what happens, the trust may get strained, but the loyalty,
Right.
what you are capable of doing for another person and withstanding, right? If that person called or you seen that person in a situation, no matter what is going on, you might not trust them really. Like you might not even be feeling them. You might not even like them, right? Like let's be real, right? Like I really don't like you
Right.
right now. Like I really don't like you. But
Like that.
when the going gets tough and something is going down, you holding that person down no matter what comes of it. And for me, in that situation, it was like the trust got lost, the care, the love, like certain things faded for a while, but the loyalty never changed. And that's why we are just as good as we are today, because no matter what, you can rebuild the trust, right? But if you lose loyalty, I feel like, yeah,
It's
like,
no repairing that. I To a certain extent, there
right,
is. You can repair because people can change. Except people can change the way you be like, okay, you are more loyal to me. I can give you that second chance. But when we on the 10th and the
right,
12th try, bruh, you get played. You get absolutely playing. So, but I feel like we keep having these bumps. You're showing the progress. Would you? Yeah, you're making progress. But if you have that slip up, does that still make you who you are, or that's just a
right,
bump in the road of where you're trying to be? But then go back to where you said it's a choice. It's a choice. And when you're put in a position to where your loyalty now is tested, here's me. I always think about the other person. So I'm never going to be like, yeah, I'm about to go mess with X, Y, and Z. But I'm like, nah. Eventually, what's done in dark is going to come to the light. He's going to find out. And how's he going to feel about that? How is he going to react to it? Like, I keep on me. So I just feel like I deserve the same for my partner, for my friends, or whatever the case may be. So like if we in some kind of place and you hear somebody talking about me and you just come to, oh yeah, she was just talking about you. And I'm gonna, first thing I'm gonna say, what did you say back? Because if you're gonna sit there and let them talk about me, I can't mess with you like that either. Because I'm thinking, what did you say about me that you wasn't man enough to say to my face?
right,
Nobody, and to this day, nobody can sit there and talk about one of my real friends to me without me chopping it. Like we're not doing that.
right,
And guys, like even some friends that I grew apart from, their business is still safe for me just because we fell out. The relationship we did had is still gonna be there. Like I'm never gonna go back and say, oh, this is what this person is. Because that's like childish. Like now you're gonna say it to me after y'all stop being friends, but like you was talking with her, so now you want to tell me, like
right,
no. And then it's about maturity as well. I feel like you some immature people don't know how to be loyal. Some immature people take trust as whatever, like just the same. Like, okay, yeah, I trust you. Like they use it like so frequently. People say so frequently, yeah, I trust you. I trust you. Yeah, yeah, you can trust me with anything. Okay, so I'm giving you $20. I expect you to give it back. I'm trusting you to give my money back. You said borrow, they have.
right.
You said
X,
borrow 20. Let me borrow $20.
like,
Give my money back.
yeah, we not like,
4 years later, where's my 20 at? You done went to Jamaica. You done bought a BMW. Where is my 20?
girl, girl, we not even gonna listen. I could go. That's a whole nother topic.
I do.
Just owing people money. Like I don't trust you with nothing. You not good with no money. I ain't trusting you. No. Mm-mm. But you know what I was also gonna say? I think it starts out with like being young, right? Like I feel like when your kids get to a certain age, you need to start instilling those things into their head, instilling those morals. Like you want people to trust you. Like me, when I was young, my mom my mom probably laugh at this, but like I used to tell like little unnecessary lies, like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I didn't do that, like knowing damn well, yes, you did. Like, and they be, you
Only
know,
one.
when your kid, right, exactly, you know, when your kids is young and they be telling crazy lies, and you be looking like, really, bro, like, really, that's what you're gonna tell me?
Right.
Like, and my mom used to say to me, the more you lie, the more lies you tell, the more lies you have to tell to keep up with the lies that
You're
you
told.
told. Like,
Yeah.
it's such a tongue twister, right? But the more
But
lies you tell, the more lies you have to tell to keep up with the lies you've already told.
mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, when you stop remembering what lies you done told, you got
Yeah.
to make up more lies to go up with them. So who gonna
Exactly.
trust you? You's a liar,
Right.
right? And it came to a point where, like, as I got older, of course, right, I was like, dang, she really, and I think that's why I'm so blunt now, because I'm like, you know what, fuck it, what I'm about to lie for? I ain't gonna remember that shit next week. I'm about to tell you what it is right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, I think that's my personality too. Like, I'd rather just tell you the truth and we just gonna have to work it out from there. Like, I ain't gonna
Right.
lie to you no more. Like, I just can't, you know? Now, if it's little stuff, like, I ain't in the mood, like, are you asking me at my home?
Nah, I'm
Nah.
not home. Nah, I'm not home. And you make I'm going to move my car on the other side. So when you drive, I'm not home.
But I feel like that's just an adult. Like, I don't want to be bothered. But, like, you know, like big stuff, like please don't lie to me. Like please tell me what it is. Like I really respect you more for just telling me straight up, like, yo, listen, this is what it is, this is what it ain't. And then we could go from there. Then you could figure out whether you want to stick with it or get lost. Like, you know what I'm saying? But the decision is
Yeah,
yours.
let me be my choice if I want to stick here. Don't make that choice for me. Don't lie to me because you want me to be here and you continue to do whatever you want to do. No,
And
like that.
I'm gonna trust you more. I'm gonna trust you more if you tell me the truth. Like if you just be straight up with me and say, look, this is what I feel, or this is what it is, this is what happened. Even like, you know, like I respect that. I will be able to say I trust you 100%. Like I'm not mad. I'm not hurt. Like it might hurt my feelings, but I'm not hurt that you told me the truth.
Right.
I would be hurt that you lied to me and kept it going for that long. Cause then, like what?
Or
I'm sorry.
tell me if somebody else tell me that.
Oh yeah.
Lord have mercy. I can't wait to get to this episode of what I need to get to because it's coming. It's trust me, it's coming. But it's like, how do you sleep at night? How do you get in your bed and close your little raggedy daddy eyes, knowing that you done betrayed my trust? I hope I hope you have a nightmare and you piss your bed. Like, that's harsh on you. You pee your bed. As grown as you are, piss your bed. Piss monster. Like I wish petty stuff. I don't wish big stuff. Before I break it, have you ball. I hope when you put it falls out your hand, and I hope it was a $15 bill like that. You know? So now you're asked out with your food and you're asked out
Nah, not playing with the food now. That's just wrong.
Like, cause I'm sick and I'm tired of it. But yeah, loyalty is it goes a long way. Loyalty goes a long way. Trust goes a long way, and that's a character trait. Either you do have it or you don't. But some people that is straight up, you know, tell you like, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. Like, I want to be with this person. I want to be with that person. Or some people is wishy-washy and they don't even know that they're being unloyal because that's just who they are. Like I have people who
that's when it comes like to be your job. Like when you around me and you start being that messy, you start being that crazy about like, nah, I'm gonna tell you, excuse me, hello, how you doing? You need to stop.
When we're all in the room and these people that we don't know, what we doing? We texting each other, girl.
Oh yeah.
Girl. This is too much for me. I cannot. And then right off that alone, it just shows me that I can't trust you with whatever the case may be. Or if you put too much of your business out there, that means, okay, if you can tell that much of your business, you can tell that much of mine.
Right.
So I'm not gonna mess with that. I'm not gonna mess with that.
If we in a room full of people that you don't know and you start telling everybody in the room what happened to you last week because your baby daddy did this and that, nah, yeah, it's clip for you.
If I can
remind me not to call you next time some shit happened to me.
Listen back to you verbatim and how much you made in taxes last year, something is wrong. I need to know too much, because now if I know too much, like, I'm gonna start having this perspective, and it's, like, and that's probably not who you are, and I don't want to judge you off of what you're telling me, because maybe you're just venting, but I don't want to hear how many part of it, because now what you're telling me is she talked too much, I can't trust you. Right off the bat, then you're gonna be friends with me, and then now here goes the lion. Oh, let's exchange numbers? My phone dead. I don't I don't got I don't want to be part of it, and I don't want to put myself in. I'm like, I don't like confrontation.
Be like,
So
yeah,
I
add me on Instagram.
like, yeah, you write me. Yeah, follow me on Instagram. Okay, you follow me. Blocked. I don't want that negativity in my life. Go that way. Go that way. You don't got time. But yeah. So we're getting closer to the end of the podcast, and I do have a promotion. As you can see, my hair is dead. Shanice, she is her business is a vibe. I'm going to tag her in this post, and she sell eyelashes on too. I have them on. Excuse me, I probably can't see them because I can't see them.
The lashes is lashing.
It's
I can
lashing.
see them.
I can blink, and it's pretty.
Oh Lord, yeah. I don't know how y'all do it.
This is the different style. She convinced me to get, step out of my comfort zone. But, it's cute. Like, her name is on the box and whatnot.
Those are cute.
It comes in this nice little package. And what's coming?
Are those individuals?
No, this is a cluster.
Oh, nice.
It comes with this brush.
I don't know nothing about that, right? Yeah. I'm just asking questions that I be seeing on TikTok.
I don't know how to use this one. I'm still trying to. I use the tweezers, tweezers with the scissors hand thing. I still use that one because I'm still brushing up on my skills. But yeah, she does hair. She's very affordable. She travels to you. Yeah, and she did a good job. She's quick. She's very presentable. She's a good person. And yeah, so I will tag her in the post, and she's on my website. You guys visit my website. I'm giving a giveaway. Once I reach to 800 page views, I probably got like 15 more page views. I'll be giving a giveaway, and so this giveaway will be a custom notebook. Custom notebook that I don't have one available to show you now, but I will post a video. Whatever. So once I reach there, just tag a mom who have kids, and that will be that. Another promo I had is a juicer. Is Miko. Her name is Miko. She does all natural foods, and it helps you, helps the body up a little bit. I would definitely.
She local? Where's she at?
She lives in the Bronx, but she ships. And I tried it. It was really good.
What? Oh, you gotta put me on. Yes, I need a discount code for that for sure.
Yes, I would tag her, and I don't know if she has Instagram, but I will definitely put her contact information and everything down there, and I will send it to you as well. And we did have a winner for my last giveaway, Latasha. It was from Feminine Galore. Follow her too. She makes all natural feminine products. Really good person. Ashley, she was on last 2 weeks with the domestic violence. She sells a lot of nice things, so go check her out. And then the next time I will be on, you can probably join in too, whoever wants to join in is free, will be April 26th. And I'm switching up. I do a lot of versatile things. So it will be a theme night, game night. So it'll be 21 questions. So, and so this 21 questions is you asking me any kind of questions you want. Any kind of questions you want, you can ask, feel free. And I'm going to honestly open up and answer them. So I'm going to I have to figure it out because I'm not tech savvy. The anonymous thing on the Instagram story, I'm going to be posting it on my A2 Books Inc. page.
And download the app. I'll put you on after we get off.
Please help me with that. And then anonymously, I'm going to put it in a jar and just read them off randomly. And if somebody want to join in to answer another, same question, if you feel interested, okay, that's a good question for me, you want to join in and talk about it, we can do that. This is what this platform is for, to talk, have conversations, simple girl chat, And yeah, but I thank you, Tati, for joining on.
Thank you. It's always fun.
Because she did have her own podcast as well. Okay, tag, request to join in, and we can talk about fast. Let me see if I can tag you in. Oh, there we go. I don't know. Accept. I'm trying to accept it. I don't know, Kat. And
Hi.
hey, Venetia.
Or
No, I was
how
saying
are
like
you?
since
It's good to see
what,
you.
Pagan?
For many years that I moved, but it's good to see you. I had text you, and notice something on my teeth. I just ate some grapes. Hold on. I had
Okay.
just texted you about a couple weeks ago, and it was the wrong
I,
number,
I was
but
giving
it's
you my
okay.
number
I'm
after
like, why
this.
she didn't text back? And I need, yeah, I'm really big on kids education, and my daughter, she's in school. So anyway, I love the podcast. I love it, and I didn't even but when I found
Thank
out about it, I had to follow
you.
it. So you've been doing really amazing, and I'm proud of you and your business and everything like that. So but I wanted to talk about something I had said before. I was saying something about how what kind of friends I prefer regarding the trust. So I did mention God, and I didn't mean it because I know she was saying if they are in a religious or what religious way, what religion. I don't mean a specific religion. Like right now we have people who are Muslims, and and you have Christian, you have different denomination. But what I mean is that if my type of friend that builds trust is basically a person that has a good fear in God and remind me to trust God instead of
Okay.
even the human being themselves. I remember one time I called someone who I felt the spirit led me to call them. It was super random. I don't know if you know Stacia, but I had called her about something that was going on in my life, and I think she wanted her hair done. And I kept ignoring the call, and I said, Stacia, I'm going through something. And I just started crying, and the first thing she said was, Benasia, let's pray. And from them on, it really changed my perspective on friendships. And becoming a
Right.
mother, I worried for my children. What kind of friends are they gonna have? What kind of spouse are they gonna have? You understand? And I feel like if I keep a faith base, at least try. I may smoke a little weed, but I'm trying to read a scripture with my friend. I don't mean judgmental. You
Right.
understand? I mean, God, I'm really,
Jesus
really
understand all
trying.
about the
So
plans. He
learn to
listen, okay?
right. Yeah. I'm just saying, I just feel like a person for example, it's this girl who's been reaching out to me, and I see she wants to build a friendship. I feel I could slowly trust her
Right.
because she tries to rely on God. I'm just trying, and I'm maybe we could pray. She's like, I've been praying. But just the fact that, open minded and optimistic about really having that. And the same thing with
Yeah.
relationships too. I feel like it solves a lot of our problems for some reason, because some of the unknown, I wouldn't have to ask you, certain things if I know, you know what, me and her, we talked about certain things. We have open relationship. The person is maybe be a Muslim, I may be Christian or Catholic, but I just feel like if we both can just
Right.
have that middle ground and that peace, safe haven, I feel like it just changed the whole dynamic of trust in general. It's even in the Bible, we're not supposed to trust human, but I feel like we do need the worldly advice, but just having that common ground, at least say, okay, you trust in a higher being, I don't care what it is. But I love that. I have a friend who loves crystals, and she would tell me about the moon and the sun, and I would listen. And I'm like, okay. And she loves God, but she likes the meditation and high vibrations and all those things. And I'll listen. But I don't know. Sometimes I don't feel like I don't want to be judgmental, but I do want to try to remind people there's a higher being, and let's try to because there's a lot of false religion. It's a lot of people that are using God for their own benefit to make themselves like they're better than others, and I don't like that. But I feel like when life happens, like the last two podcasts about what happened in the hospital, I know you thought about God in that moment, and I feel like most of my friends now are mom friends who take this life seriously. Wait, I gotta better myself because I want my children to I want to see my kids,
Yeah.
grow.
I mean, I also think that it's not our job as people to, drive somebody else to what they're what they should believe in, right? It's our job to be who we are and to share what we believe and to give, you know, give good advice, give good, support to people. And, if praying is what that person is willing to do and wants to do, I'm all down for that. Like any of my friends know, like if you need to call me and you want to, yell about it, you want to curse about it, you want to cry about it, you want to pray about it, whichever way you want to go about it, I'm going to be there for you. Right. And I don't think it's my job as a person or anybody to say like, well, be specific in that, like support. Like I want you to tell me what you need and then I'm going to help you in whatever way you need it, And like, I think sometimes, and this is like a lot of issue that I have like in Christianity, right? Like is when you press an agenda, when you push it, it draws people back, right? But if you open up the floor and you say, listen, here's the options, here's the room, you tell me what works best for you. And then you find that people will slowly gravitate to whatever they're interested in. And, a lot of times if the word of God is what they're leaded to, and if it's right, if it's coming from the right person, it's received naturally. You don't have to, convince that person like, oh, come join this church, like come to church. Like I never forced my friends to come to church with me, but I used to go, and when I did, if somebody wanted to come, they did. I don't go to church myself, but I believe in God. Like I'm a firm believer in God, but I don't press that to any of my friends and any of my family because I feel like we all have our own way of doing things. And that's what I was getting at, like when I was talking about like trust and, loyalty in God, is that everybody's going to have their own method, and it's not always easy for other people to be receptive to yours because it might not be what they want or believe it's for them, and so as people, it's like, meeting everybody where they're at, and sometimes that means like leaving the word or the name, the God or the religious, background out of it and just
it doesn't have to be specific, but I feel like the more you get to know about a person, you can really try to get to know their heart because so many people have been made over. You understand? So it's like I have to, like I've been through things in my life, and me childhood, like I don't even know Tati, to be honest. Tati doesn't even know me, but we all went through things in our life that has changed us, that has molded us into good or bad people. So when you have a station, I feel like I have a sibling that will gravitate to come to me because naturally I'll just probably try to throw a scripture and then I'll make her laugh, but that just be my forte, and just picking like how to trust, who to trust, and loyalty and things like that. If a person is humble, because we all make mistakes, no one's perfect, but I feel like when I speak to that person, I tell them this bothers me, or whatever. How can I explain it? Like, I'm not saying if they have a relationship with God, they're least likely to hurt me, but I feel like they're more likely to really hear me and listen and get to know me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and then the loyalty portion is like, I mean, everyone is for themselves. So when these things happen, no one's really loyal, to be honest. People can be loyal as much as they can, but to be honest, it's like, are you gonna let me? Are you gonna like, you have your children, right? And they're like, okay, you're loyal to me.
Mm-hmm.
You're my friend for I'm 28 years. So now it's like it's a life or death situation. You got to put yourself first because you have children. You understand? So at the end of the day, it's like, when you understand life as a whole and you have people who understand life as a whole, they're not going to be judgmental. And are going to give you something that even if you're not ready to receive it, one day they'll say, I remember Tati gave me that scripture.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, just try to throw it in there. And I feel like, I'm more pro friends because I have friends who I may say the word G word and they'll run. And I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and have a whole sermon. Like, I'm not trying, I'm working on me, but let's work on each other together. You understand? That same friend, I was able to check her and she had gave me spiritual advice, but she took a good place. So now she knows this person means the best by me. Like, I'm checking up on her, but I'm like, hey, it's good to see you, but why you don't have custody of your children? You have to get your kids. Listen, like, it gets to the point where all the sugarcoating is no more sugarcoating, but you don't take it like badly because of, you know me, I'm trying to better myself and I want support you,
Right.
you know? So I feel like just, and that's another thing too with the whole God thing. Some people come off strong. Some people want to convince others. It's just throwing a little seasoning out there to just kind of like help them get through the storm.
Mhm.
I feel like I can't be there for you every day, but if I could teach you how to be there for yourself,
Mhm.
you would respect me more. You understand?
Right.
And you be so needy because the world is needy.
Mhm.
We're also running from that G word. It could be any higher being, any religion. But you know me, I'm a social butterfly. I will be around the white folks, the Spanish folks, the Asian. I'm around everybody.
Right.
Oh, but you love God. I want to know what you do. Maybe a little bit what you got going on. You know, I may put some dollars on somebody on a little Buddha by the door. You know, you never know. But I really feel like that relationship with God, they making it. Their business is popping.
Right.
Those, because whatever, it could be, what is it, what is it, the Rockefeller thing that Beyonce be doing, and all these rich people, they say, oh, they go, some people have, some of them are Jews. The Jews run the whole Senate, whatever. The ones that really tap into the higher being, they learn this thing called discipline. And that discipline, it gets them through life. And the whole friendship, there's no friendship drama. There's no time for friendship drama. Me and my friends, you know, those people, they want to meet up for meetings and meet up for more, you know, information, like things like this, you know, have that time to better their self, better their business, better their family dynamic. And I feel like the foundation is God. I feel like for me, like, for example, like Tati may be in a mind frame, for example, if you talk about God, she don't want to talk to you, or if you talk about God, she don't want to talk to you. I don't know. But at the end of the day, that's who I am. You understand? But there may be somebody that's God driven, that is hungry, a desperate heart that needed that. So I feel like, you know, to each his own. And then there's some people that be like, oh, that's crazy as Benasia. Oh, hey, how you doing? But then call me in private and I'll give them encouragement or I'll make them laugh. So it's just to each his own. And I really feel like what you're doing is a beautiful thing. There's so many people out here with questions, I feel like, and you're really doing an amazing job. I'm really proud of you.
And I'm proud of you too. You got your own trucking business.
Yes.
Yes.
That's awesome. So we gotta have a talk because I need some of your little nuggets. So you got your little podcast going, you know. I need some little gems. So
Yeah.
we got
I will definitely text you my number once we come off of this. I'll DM you.
How's your grandma?
She's good. She's
good.
good.
I love you. But it was really good. Thank you so much, Sati.
All right. See you